This morning and a bit after lunch, we are going to dedicate to collaborate to innovate the support scheme set up by Europa Cinemas and funded by the European Commission that a lot of you, of course, already know, and a lot of you also have participated in and are very familiar with, and we're actually going to listen to no less than 4 presentations from former projects that are in effect right now or has been before. So we're very much looking forward to that. And after lunch, you will be divided into groups, and you will be tasked with doing a workshop in creating your own Collaborate to Innovate initiative. And but that will be after lunch, when you're even more full and full of food and energy. So I'll just start this session by introducing the project as it is, and a little bit of background for you all. So Collaborate to Innovate, like I said, is set up by Europa Cinemas, and was the guidelines were put together three years ago with the aid of a lot of Europa Cinemas members, and it's a support scheme by Europa Cinemas for Europa Cinemas network members. The scheme is centered on 3 keywords: innovation, collaboration, and sustainability. And innovation being a leading word for the European Commission for a long time, and collaboration, of course, one of the strong points of our network. The aims is to help cinemas foster collaborative innovation, to stimulate collective, innovative, and collaborative initiatives, and encourage innovation all over, especially when it comes to new tech and collaboration between cinemas, but also between cinemas and other parts of the industry. And also to, of course, improve skills and assets in individual members. The minimum requirements for this, by the way, all this is in the guidelines that you will receive later, in order for you to make a real deep dive and also make a better workshop for this. But I will just touch upon some important things that is good for you to know. Europe, or the EU, is divided here in the countries A, B, C, and D countries, and there are regarding financial structure, the demographic of cinema exhibition, and also sometimes the possibility of getting local or national support. So if you're from A or B country, which is France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Austria, Belgium, Czech Republic, Denmark, Finland, Greece, Iceland, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Norway, Poland, and Sweden, you need at least 3 participants in order to make this a collaborate initiative, a national collaborate initiative. If you're from the C and D countries, which is the rest of the EU zone, you need 2. And for international projects, you need if mainly A and B countries, you need at least 5 participants from at least 2 countries. And again, if it's C and D countries, you need 3 participants from at least 2 countries. So this is the baseline, this is the minimum requirements, the setup that you need to apply for a project. So the areas where projects are eligible can be a wide variety of things: digital, new offers and services, marketing campaigns, audience development, skills development, and in the areas of anything from data management to young audience schemes or green initiatives, educational, and many, many more. The projects are assessed and green-lighted by an external group of experts, and each application will be graded by points during and categories. So the categories are innovation, collaboration, European cinema impact, audience inclusion and sustainability impact, network, industry and ecosystem impact, and value, feasibility, sustainability. So each of those categories will be judged with 10 points maximum, except for collaboration, which is a 5-point maximum. So maximum score for a fantastic project that will revolutionize the cinema industry is 55, and the minimum is 30 to be eligible. But you need to have all these categories present in your project, because if you score a 0 in any of the categories, the project will be disqualified. So the process is basically that you set up a project and then you can send it to the Europa Cinemas staff for evaluation. The Europa Cinemas is not green-lighting any projects, it's not handing out any money, but people like Irene and Adrian and the other staff of Europa Cinemas is very, very knowledgeable, both when it comes to all the cinemas in your respective territories, because they have daily access, daily contact with you and know the sectors. And they are really the best support that you can have in setting up this. So always check with them first and ask them for contacts within other parts of the business. And then when you finally apply, it will be someone else doing the assessment and hopefully green-lighting your project. So I'll go into each of the, briefly, each of the 7 categories, because it's very important to have these in mind, because there needs to be elements of all of them in your in your application if you want to be successful. So innovation, what is innovation? That's a tricky question to ask, but I mean, to score a really high score, it's a significantly new practice or process for all cinemas in the network. Perfect. It could be a significant improvement or extension of something that's already been developed in one or more cinemas that is then spread through the network or through the collaborators. And innovation can be something in one territory and something else in another. I mean, there is no requirement to reinvent the wheel or to come up with something brand new. A perfectly eligible project would also be, for example, taking a business model or a project that's been going on in one territory, adapting it to your country or your or the different territories where your collaborators are, and making something similar or a new version of something. So you can also be innovative by spreading good ideas to different areas of where your cinema is. So collaboration, of course, this is one of the keys. You need to collaborate with participants of the Europa Cinemas network. That's the baseline, and of course, if you set up a project where you have cinemas from different territories, different demographics, or different financial or financial situations, that's also a bonus, because this is also about shareability, that you share good ideas with others. European cinema impact is, of course, also at the core, because this is at the core of everything that Europa Cinemas does. It's the whole idea of the organization is to help the circulation of European films. So in some way, this needs to be a part of your project too. How do we get more European films screened and watched in your respective territories? Audience inclusion and sustainability. Also important and part of prioritized by the European Commission. So does the proposal offer new ways to engage with the diversity of audiences and communities? Does it have something that's social and cultural benefits in communities? Does it have environmental benefits? Also very important. I might even add here also gender balance and inclusivity, inclusion. This was not in the original guidelines, but it's also a prioritized within Europa Cinemas and from the Commission. So projects with those aspects will certainly be judged in a positive way. Here we go. We had the distributors here this morning, and another aim is, of course, to also have an impact on the ecosystem of the European films. So anything you can do with distributors, sales agents, producers, or directors, or any other part of the ecosystem of film is a positive thing. And least value and feasibility. How ambitious is the project in changing the way that cinemas operate? Does the leadership of the project have the experience and resources it needs to achieve the goals? Basically, is it feasible that this project will be successful and also be sustainable beyond the time of the project to continue even after the support is paid out. Exactly like Eduardo was talking about the Spanish project of live transmitted Q&As. They're now trying to find a way to support that scheme into the future without the original support. And this is also very important to have from the beginning. And another thing I would like to really stress is the value for money. If you get support, the idea is that as many cinemas as possible can benefit from the project, so that it's not an elite project. It costs a lot for each element, but it can have an impact on as many people as possible. Basically, as much bang for your buck as possible. KPIs, also very important. They were discussed yesterday by Deborah, and I don't know if you keep up with your abbreviations, but KPI means key performance indicators. It sounds, maybe if you don't know it, very vague, but it's actually the opposite. A key performance indicator is something that's measurable in figures and numbers. So it might be, for example, audience numbers for a specific film, or it could be a percentage increase in young audience during a time period, or something like that. It's a goal and a way to measure how successful the project is. So a percentage of how many non-national European films are screened this year as opposed to the last year because of the project. That could be a KPI. So something that could be measured and evaluated and reported. That's a KPI. So the overall budget for this support is 1.5 million, and the maximum support for a single project is 100,000 euros. So the support is not cannot cover 100% of an initiative. Again, if you're from the A or B countries, you can have a maximum of 70% of the total budget for the project, and if you're from B or C country, 80%. The rest must be sourced elsewhere, either as an investment from your participants, or with local or support from your respective countries, or something other, or from your partners. Payments will be 50% for a green-lighted project, and then the rest upon basically providing proof of payment for eligible costs. Talking about eligible costs, this is also very important to keep in mind when you're doing budgets and planning your projects. You can there's a lot of things that are eligible, but not all. Overheads is not eligible, and stuff that has to do with what you might, basically things that you would do in your cinema anyway. That's not eligible for support. So it's really important to keep tabs on what you can report and what you can't. And also staff costs, if you have paid staff, is fine, as long as it, but only 20% of the eligible costs can be staff costs. The rest has to be into project-specific costs. So each project must nominate a coordinator. You must also agree to a case study evaluation of the project after it's done. You can involve non-member cinemas as well as people outside the cinema. It's part of the idea of the project, but the baseline of the number of member cinemas has to be met, and after that you can of course involve more partners or cinemas. You can also just do one project. You cannot have your cinema in the east part of town in one project, and a small single screen in the suburbs in another. So if it's the same company or the same organization, you have to choose one project. And also application must be in English, and they have to be completed. So just before going into the examples, and I will repeat some of this after lunch as well before you go into the workshop mode, but really important thing is coordinator. It takes a lot of time to coordinate a project, and you should make sure that the person who's the coordinator of each project has the time and the capacity to see it through to the end. The KPIs has to be clear, and in order to evaluate the project before, during, and after the completion. You have to keep tabs on your eligible costs, very important. Take time to make the application. It's not something that you do the last week before deadline. It's something that you should plan in months before in order to get it right. It's quite complicated. And make sure you have your external funding, 20 or 30% depending on where you're from. And sustainability. It should survive after the project ends, so you should have a plan for that, I think. So when is the deadline for the next iteration? Is it in January or February? End of February usually. So you have some time to think about it until then. But we'll of course make a speed run this afternoon to try to come up with some good ideas in a workshop mode. So I would just say that the reason why we're dedicating such a long time of this lab to this project is that I don't know how it is in your respective territories, but I don't know for a better place to get 100,000 euros for an interesting project that you have regarding cinema development anywhere. So I would really encourage you to if you haven't done so already, to really study this initiative, because it's really there for cinemas, and even though it might look complicated and a bit overly bureaucratic, it's actually designed to be easier than the sort of call of proposals that come from the European Commission, from the media program, or like the cinemas as innovative hubs. That was a call of proposal a couple of years ago. Those are much more complicated and have much more loose parts that you need to keep tabs on if you're a project manager. This is actually designed to be, you know, that it can be done by cinema professionals as yourself. So gather your ideas, think about it, and try to workshop in a good way about it this afternoon. So on that note, I'll just say that we can go into the presentations. So I would like to, like I said, we have 4 very interesting Collaborate and Innovate projects that we will be hearing from. And the first one is the Dutch project, VR project New Reality. And since we're talking about VR and tech, of course, Camille is joining us via Zoom. So welcome, Camille, and please take the floor.
Yes, thank you very much. So actually, I was supposed to be introduced by Babette, who is my partner on this project, but she has to leave, and she asked me to tell you that she would have been happy to present the project with me, and she hopes that you will apologize. She presents her apologies. So yes, thank you for giving me the opportunity to present New Reality. And I mean, it's a real thank you. I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and apparently humanity should be more grateful, or at least say that when you are grateful, and I'm super grateful to have this opportunity to present New Reality, because Europa Cinema was really the one who, of course, together with Babette, that put that together, pulled the project, was really the one to help us put the first step in this ladder. So thank you for that. And also because I founded Divergent Cinema 7 years ago. And, you know, we have cinema in our name, so we kind of are very connected to my previous career as a cinema distributor. But right now, what Divergent Cinema do is we are an event agency, basically. So we go to venues, cultural institutions mostly, and of course cinemas, to present. I mean, to bring the technology and the training for people to be able to show immersive work. And beside that, we are also immersive distributor as we promote and commercialize experiences, VR and immersive experiences internationally. But let's go back maybe to the subject here, which is New Reality. We had 3 partners as cinemas for this project. 3 partners in the Netherlands. Those 3 cinemas as part of the top 10 of the biggest art house cinemas in the Netherlands. So very happy to be able to have been able to have this pilot phase with them. What is New Reality? We thought of this project. When we thought of this project, we had like 4 pillars that we wanted to make sure that we check. First of all, and what actually is what we do and why I created Divergent Cinema, is to make VR accessible to a broader audience, and to make it part of the ritual of what culture have to offer to the public. That was one of the things that drove us towards this project. Also, as I said earlier, to provide local knowledge and VR training to make sure that when we go to a venue and we equip a venue with the technology, we actually provide the expertise. We kind of disseminate our knowledge to those different venues to make the market and the interest grow, both in the technology and in the art form. During that pilot phase of New Reality, we also tested marketing tools and communication tools, how to communicate about this new art form and how to reach new audiences. It was about having people coming to the cinema, trying, testing, will have an appetite for VR, but it was also, of course, about making sure that VR can be a tool for new audiences to come to the cinema. So that was like a two venue marketing issues, let's say. And of course, the fourth pillar, which is maybe one of the most important, is about the business model. To evaluate the potential market. The ticket price, by the way, was €8 in each cinema, and we wanted to evaluate the potential market and the money that the market could give back to production. That was really an important point to check and to make. So concretely, New Reality is equipping cinemas with VR headsets, that are showing cinematic experiences and that are used in the cinema room. So each cinema had 30 VR headsets. We will use the sound of the cinema to make sure that the experience is as collective as possible. And beside that, we would also equip the cinema with two interactive booths, interactive station, that were not actually, didn't really serve the business model, but was more important in terms of marketing tool and in terms of showing what VR can bring to storytelling. The first part of it, the collective screening, is super interesting, of course, because it's the scalable one. So when we are talking about market and to make it grow, this is an easy way, let's say, to make sure that you maximize your potential entries. New Reality was also, of course, the technical part, but also the curation part, the program part. We decided to go for this pilot phase with two programs. The first one was Journey Beyond Belief, which was actually about discovering what VR can do in terms of time traveling and traveling to other spaces. So it was really about, let's say, the wow effect of where VR can bring you. The second program was Inner Journey, so 3 months each program. Inner Journey, which was more about using VR and showing VR what VR can do on the empathy side. So it was being in the shoes of another person and sharing the story and the emotion and the sensation of this journey, let's say, personal journey, intimacy. Each program was 30 minutes. And why 30 minutes? It's because it's mostly what people can take when it's their first experience. I talked about also the marketing tools and the publicity, which were crucial. We used, in terms of, reaching new audiences, we used, of course, let's say the banners on site, all the local publicity that the cinema could provide, but we also used, what is traditional in the film industry or a film campaign, to have national marketing. So it was a combination of a national campaign and publicity, together with a local campaign based on the network of the cinema. Then regarding the fourth pillar of our project, it was the finance and the business model. Crucial to this project was the compensation for VR creators, and as I say, make sure that the market money would go back to production and to creator. It was also making sure that the business model at some point will be sustainable. Of course, let's remain pragmatic. VR is expensive, and we are, of course, building a network and making sure that we can scale it up. But we need to we can't do without subsidy until we reach this point. And we kind of know now where the point could be, which was a super interesting moment in terms of research. Right now, and that's why I'm also super grateful to be here, right now, we would have been very happy to tell that we are officially spending, but unfortunately, we will still have to wait until beginning of next week, when the Dutch Film Fund will officially give us the approval on our request, on our demand for help. How do you say? Money and subsidy and effort to do that. But if everything goes well, next week we will officially expand to 4 more cinemas, still in the Netherlands, and the next what we call phase 2 we will start in February 2024, and in the meantime, or during this period of launching, we will of course go to try to find and at least research for new partners to make it bigger, and ultimately to expand to other cinemas in Europe, and maybe answer a media call on that, to kind of, as I said, reach this point where the business model is sustainable. That is that. Again, thank you for the opportunity to pitching or to go back to what was the pilot phase, and to be able to share it with you, Europa Cinema, as you were again the first one to give us the impulse for that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, Camille, since you're joining us on Zoom here, you won't be here for the Q&A and debrief that we have later. But so I would just like to ask you one question, since we all sat here in this room as exhibitors. What is the sort of key element regarding to cinemas? Why did you choose to make this, especially in the cinemas, as opposed to any other sort of venue or space?
Yes, very good question. So, first of all, because we think that cinematic VR and VR in particular is linked. I mean, if you go to the CV of the creators of cinematic VR, they are mostly linked to the cinema industry, the traditional cinema industry. That's so. This it's about storytelling, images and sounds, and it seems that cinema could be a good cinema theaters could be a good way to give this VR how do you say, would be a good place to experiment and to for the audience to step in a new way of storytelling. Also, because cinemas are a venue that can be equipped to welcome a VR cinema. And that the fact that we use an already in place structure, I think is very important because of the quality of it. Cinema are really, how do you say, an écrin, cocoon to experience audiovisual and cinematic piece, and we should. It's very interesting for us to use it and to also give the cinema audience the opportunity to discover a new art form.
Okay, thank you very much, and good luck with the continuation of your project.
Thank you.
Bye. So we turn now to Boban, who will present his project Eurofest for Kids. Yes, I will.
Hello, everybody. My name is Boban Stefanovic, and I'm coming from Serbia. I want to thank you for the invitation to present our project, which is now realizing in the free cinemas in Serbia, and also want to encourage the colleagues to participate in this really excellent call, Collaborate to Innovate. Thank you for the Europa Cinemas also. And our project Eurofest for Kids started 2 months ago. It is a very complex project which consists of several levels. Network cinemas in Belgrade, in Gornji, Milanovac and Leskovac, and also partners, Serbian Cinemas Network and the distributor Megacom Film are involved in this project. Dvorana Doma Sindikata, Cultural Center Gornji Milanovac and Leskovac Cultural Center also joined a mini network that partnership seeks to encourage audience retention and bringing to new audience and educate young people in the field of animated film and film dubbing to raise overall organizational and operational capacities of the cinema. So we have 3 levels of our project. Free contents. The first content is how to synchronize a cartoon film. That is audition for the young talents in the 3 cities who are participating in the project. It is an educational program, workshops intended for children basic school aged 9 to 15. Second project is synchronization of a cartoon film. So selected participants of the workshop will participate along the professional actors in the dubbing of European feature-length animated film. So it is the second level. We are now finished first level in 3 cities, and now the professional actors are choosing the most talented children for audition, for synchronization. And the third level is screenings of synchronized cartoon in collaboration with Serbian Cinemas Network, which has 46 members. The Eurofest for Kids program will be shown in 46 cinemas through the Serbia. First of all, the main 3 events will be in the partner cities, in Belgrade, Gornji Milanovac and Leskovac, and we will create special events like special presentations at that 3 cities in February, and then in 46 cinemas over the Serbia. Planned number of screenings will be 160, and planned number of cinema goers will be 15,000. Well, activities are complex, and it is really hard work on the field. I say our creative team have to choose first have to choose films for that program, Eurofest for Kids. And in August, we have several meetings with the distributor who will distribute film. That is the business model. Who will distribute film through the that cinemas. We choose four films. We start a very intensive PR campaign by presenting our workshops on national television, and also the start activities to encourage cinemas to think commercially in order to increase the audience and achieve profit. So workshop and work in studio will be in Gornji, Milanovac, Leskovac in Belgrade. On every step we have a lot of challenges because we have to establish mini studios in every city with professional software, with professional equipment and professional technicians also. So the cooperation with the distributor is the main key, also with Serbian Cinemas Network, and also that screenings. We will have special screenings because all four of films, one will be dubbed, and the three of rest will be made by audio description for the children to special needs. This is our main to bring new audience to the cinema, to educate young people in the field of animated film and field dubbing, but not also to them. Our workshop consists of education of acting, because they work with professional actors, and also the culture of speaking and etc. And also in 3 cinemas, but not only the 3 cinemas member of European Cinema Network, then the rest of the 46 cinemas who is a member of Serbian Cinema Network, to raise our organizational and operational capacities. So we choose the film. When this is the Rosa and the Stone Troll, a really great Danish film who will start at 9 February. I think that the premiere is also 9 February in Europe. When we saw a lot of animated films, and when we choose the film, we have to have a lot of characters in the film to include much more children in it. But also on our auditions we have approximately 100 children participating in the audition, and our plan is all of them to travel to the 3 cities and make an event. Not only these 18 main actors, then all of them, and to present their work at our workshop. Here is some pictures. In Gornji Milanovac, Leskovac, and Belgrade. This is a two-year gold framework, but the project has a really good potential for the next years. We also plan to spread the project through the whole members of European cinemas in Serbia, and maybe in the next years will be much more, will be a lot of children included in that project. Not only for the 3 towns, but maybe for 14 towns in Serbia, which is members of the European cinemas. Set of activities, and that is about our project. Thank you.
Sorry. Wonderful, thank you very much. I have so many questions, but we'll save that for the debrief together with the rest. Thank you very much. Yes,
sorry, this is the national project came from Serbia. I have also to say that our colleagues from Subotica, for Europa Cinemas Subotica, and have an international project with colleagues from Hungary, Croatia, and Slovenia. So that is two projects from Serbia coming to collaborate to innovate. Really good call.
Good. Thank you. So we'll come back to Boban with questions later, but right now we want to welcome Andres from Tartu, Estonia, to talk about the Kinola software for small cinemas.
I'm Andres from Elektriteater cinema from Tartu, Estonia. Tartu is the second biggest city in Estonia with 100,000 people living there. It's a university town. Our cinema is a single screen with 115 seats and located in this lovely old church building. We get about 50,000 visitors a year, and we've been operating for 13 years, and most of them being Europa Cinemas member. 2 years ago, we were part of the Collaborate To Innovate initiative, which is very great funding and very great initiative from Europa Cinemas, so we are also very thankful. I can't even express it maybe, because as Mathias said, it is one of the greatest ways to do something fun in cinema and something brave. So I highly recommend also, and hope that we can do it again in the future. Our project was to make software for small cinemas like us. We had felt the need for quite a long time that we could do work better, and we couldn't find fit from anything existing in the world. And when we talked with others, we felt that they have the similar need. So big part of our project was doing also a research and survey over Europe with 16 cinemas. So we tried to find how are their processes in building like their program and running cinema, and what software and other tools they use, and how to automate things and make life easier. So we were very happy to find out that there is real need, and we got very strong confirmation that something like that we are building is needed. We got a very obvious result that cinemas like to do more cinemating and less administration. That very important motivation is to save money and to save time. And many of the tools that they were using did not help with that. They had, of course, like million Excel tables like we all had, or doing lots of manual work, or even many small cinemas still don't have any access to selling tickets online or doing reports automatically. Like often cinemas use this ticketing service that you can sell tickets, but that's about it. Once the ticket is sold, any other like work that to make reports for cinema, anyone else to put the schedule, you still do it manually. What was surprising, that many cinemas who use something like this, the main thing they miss is a customer service from the companies, that they feel they are somewhere far away on the edges of Europe, paying very little, and they are treated like that, so their troubles are not really heard. But for them, it's very important if like your ticket sales or your reporting is not working. That localization is very important. As we in all areas talk about that cinema is communal, especially our type of cinemas are very communal experience. So like the ticket sales and all the software experience should be also. It's not just like that translating into local language, but all cinemas have like their, or no, and many regions and countries have their different styles, little things. That, I don't know, for example, in Denmark, the seating numbers in cinema start from the middle of the row. They go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5, 6 are not next to each other. The logic is that the best numbers are like 1, 2 in the middle, and the bigger the number, the worse it is. Or in Romania, if I remember correctly, or Claudia can correct me, there was 5 or 7 taxes on cinema ticket. Yep. In Italy, you have to report your ticket office sales every evening to the tax office, that to avoid tax fraud, obviously. And in Finland, they have this thing called that employers can send their employees to cultural events. It's like this national initiative, like it's basically a gift card that almost every company has, and people can go to cinema, to theater, to concerts, and they want you to be able to pay with this. And there's like many and many of these like little things that you could edge away, and the big systems edge away, but actually that's not what we want, and that's not what cinemas want. Plus, of course, they have often very different business models and details like every cinema has. And that has been talked already before, cinemas want to own their data. No. They want to know who their customers are and be able to like actually export the list of these are people who came to cinema. And I can send them an email or I can do statistics who they are, wherever. And it's not somewhere like locked away where they cannot access. So we got to work on our software. We named it Kinola. And the idea is that it supports all life cycle in the cinema or work cycle in the cinema. That you start by, obviously, you enter a film, and already in here, there are like most cinemas, what they do, they copy and paste from the email that the distributor sends or IMDb database. And obviously, the director, the actors, the length of the movie is pretty much, it is the same in all the cinemas. And even inside the country, the poster should be the same national, the synopsis is the same national usually. So every cinema should not have to import, put it manually. We already have little import button. It doesn't do everything, but we get some of this data already when you start importing. And once you have it here, it can automatically go to your website. So you don't have to put the data in twice. Once you have the film, you put it in the calendar, of course. And once you make it public in calendar, it can automatically go to the website, which was a big part of where time was wasted in many small cinemas, that they do the same work twice and 3 times and keep entering the same data one and other place. Of course, you have to do the integration with the website, which is a bit work for the cinemas also. But once you do it, life gets a lot easier. And once it's in the schedule, it automatically, you can buy it online, you can buy it in a ticket office, get it to the email or print it out, sell the tickets with the seating plan, use gift codes. We even have a quite primitive membership scheme that you can implement already. Of course, we want to make it a lot more thorough. And once the screening is finished, you want to do all the reports, which is also that we discovered the accountants in cinemas are very important. And they are really people who really care if they save 20 minutes of their day because they have to do the same report every day and they want it to be precise. And their needs are often quite simple. They just want this data to be in a table in a correct format that they need. Of course, as a software, it gets sometimes confusing because cinemas want a little bit different tables, but in general, it's the same. And of course, you can send a report to distributor quickly. In Estonia, there is no automatic sending yet, but we are slowly working in that direction also. But many countries have that you can automatically, when the screening is finished, it's sent out. or even its requirement, I think in Sweden and maybe even in Finland, that when the screening is finished, it automatically your data goes to distributor. You don't have to do it manually, and you cannot even do it manually. And we have now, it's been live more than a year, a little bit. It's in use in 6 cinemas, 5 in Estonia, 1 in Lithuania. Lithuania joined this summer, in the end of summer, and we are very proud of it. We have reached the international step, which is something we've worked toward a long time. And this has always been the goal, that it's not just for us, but it's for all the cinemas who want, and to make work and life easier, and hopefully cheaper also, because we've had one cinema who were selling €4 tickets, and when they sold it online, there was tax of 1.5 euros of the service fee. So obviously nobody bought online, and they don't want to use software like that. But when you use the software that's meant for big concert for famous artists who are €60 a ticket, they have very different initiative or motivation. So we try to do something smaller, and we are still working on it. It's daily work, even more and more as more cinemas come. So we are quite proud of what's done, and I hope one day we can make somebody of you life easier, and you can enjoy it, and hopefully you can use it, and hopefully you enjoy it. Thank you. Questions or?
No, I think we'll come back to you.
Okay. Sorry, can I? I completely forgot.
Yes.
I left one of my favorite functions that you probably like. In the reporting, there is this download button for Europa Cinemas that we do. And last year when we did our cinema, Europa Cinemas report with this helpful function of downloading there, uploading in Europa Cinemas website, it took us less than half a day. So, time saved.
Okay, thank you very much, Andres. So we'll come back to you later as well with the questions. So last presentation of this session is the Nonstop Cinema Subscription, and Laura is here to present.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Laura, and I'm going to talk to you about the Nonstop Cinema Subscription, a subscription service that we launched in March of this year. So it's quite new. It has been on for 6 months. And what I'm briefly going to talk to you about is what Nonstop is exactly and how it works. Then also what our goals are with the subscription and what we have achieved so far. Yeah, so what is Nonstop? I have talked about it a little bit in the last few days with you already, because we work very closely with Cineville, which is a Dutch cinema subscription service. And we work with the same customer management system that they do, but we decided on launching our own brand. It's a subscription service that's for unlimited cinema visits. So you pay either 22 euros a month if you're under 26-year-old, or you pay 24 euros if you're over 26. And then you can go to the cinema basically as often as you want. And we have currently 22 Austrian art house cinemas that participate in Nonstop, and 12 of those cinemas are in Vienna. There's a minimum commitment for the subscription, which is 4 months for young people and 8 months for older people. And how it works is that basically if you sign up for the subscription online, and we only sell it exclusively through our own website, then you get a membership card. You can see that right here. And if you scan that membership card at the ticket counter in one of the participating cinemas, then you get in exchange a ticket. And that visit gets registered in our system, and we later pay it out to the cinema. So what are our goals for the subscription? Why did we start it in the first place in Austria? One of the main reasons was that we wanted to increase the attractiveness of art house cinemas for young people in Austria. Another goal was that we wanted to increase the number of visits, overall visits, not just young people, but visits in general. Another goal was that we wanted to increase the willingness to experiment. So that means not just going to the same movies like Barbie or Oppenheimer, but we really wanted the people to be more willing to embrace different smaller movies, and especially Austrian movies as well. Another aim is that we wanted to establish new marketing channels for the art house cinemas in Austria. And also one of the biggest parts is that we wanted better audience analysis. Because as I said before, we track every visit with the Nonstop card, so we know exactly who our customers are, how old they are, when they go to the cinemas, which movies they prefer, and so on. Another goal was that we wanted to increase the loyalty towards the cinemas. And last but not least, we also wanted to strengthen the cooperation and the collaboration between the cinemas that are participating in Nonstop. One of the first things that we worked on was the brand. As I said before, we chose not to work with the Cinevi brand as we wanted to establish something new, and that was specifically targeted towards young people. With young people, I mean starting at 18 and going to like 25 to 30. And we wanted a brand that's fresh and that's young, that's very colorful and bright. And we chose the name Nonstop, obviously, because you can go to the cinema nonstop. And we also wanted to work with like a very clear visual language, bold typography, and also illustrations. That branding worked really well with young people. As you can see here, most of our current subscribers are 24 years old. And there's a lot of people between 20 and 29. That's really our target group. And the average age right now is 29 of our subscribers. Here I can also show you some KPIs. Now you know what KPIs are because Mathias explained it before. We currently have 3,800 subscribers after 6 months, so that's really on point in our forecast. We have 86% of those subscribers in Vienna, our main capital, but we also have the remaining 14% scattered in Austria between different cities. There's Salzburg, Linz, Graz, Innsbruck. We are in 8 cities in total right now. Then we have accumulated 50,000 visits with Nonstop so far. And the visitor frequency is 2.5 per month. So people, on average, go 2 to 3 times a month to see a movie. Of course, there are some that go 30 times a month, and there are some who just don't make it to the cinema at all, but they all pay the same price. As I said, we also wanted to increase experimentation. So we have now in total 764 films that were shown with the Nonstop subscription. So that's a really a wide range of films. 16% of those were Austrian productions, which we're really proud of because one of our main goals is also pushing local productions. And 25% of those 464 films are the top 10 movies. So that's, of course, Barbie and Past Lives and The Whale and big art house hits this year. But the remaining parts are really local films, small films, and yeah, that's what we really wanted to push here. In terms of marketing, as I said before, we wanted to establish new channels. Our main channel is Instagram because we target towards young people. We work with influencers as well concerning TikTok content. And we also created a new website where you can, as I said before, exclusively buy a subscription, but we also show the schedule of all the 22 cinemas that are participating in Nonstop. Next to organic content that we have on social media, we also use Instagram ads, we have Google text ads, we have display ads, YouTube ads. We really like to be visible everywhere online and have a lot of partnerships as well with influencers. And yeah, we have out-of-home campaigns as well. Concerning data, as I said before, we really track each visit and we know a lot about our accounts and our subscribers. We can say which movies they go to, how old they are, and we share that data with all the participating cinemas that we have, and we created a specific dashboard for that reason. Next to just being an easier way to get a lot of tickets cheap, we also offer exclusive membership events, so we not just want to be more price sensitive, but we also want to give our subscribers exclusive events and exclusive experiences. Therefore, we have like 1 or 2 events per week now, and we mainly focus on sneak previews and previews. So with sneak previews, we had a Biennale sneak preview recently with Priscilla, the new Sofia Coppola film that we showed in advance of the Biennale. But we also have smaller screenings. For example, here you can see we had a screening with dogs. That was a lot of fun. And we also invite directors and actors to talk with us about their films in advance before the release of the film in Austria. And we also invite influencers and podcasters depending on the topic of the film. And the last goal I mentioned was that we want to strengthen cooperations between the cinemas in Austria as well. We have now a network of 22 Austrian cinemas, and they're all art house. That's one of the main principles, and so you have to be an art house cinema to join. And the number keeps growing. We're adding new cinemas every month now. And it really keeps on growing, and it's one of the best things about the subscription to see how all the cinemas that used to be very similar before have joined and worked together more closely now. And yeah, this has all been possible in parts to collaborate to innovate. So I'm really, really happy that we took the chance that this gave us, and I hope some of you will take that chance as well. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Laura.